guys, welcome to day one. So today's sunscreen is going to be the Fix Derma Shadow SPF 30 plus gel PA triple plus. I've had this in my collection since so long. I bought it a while back and I was waiting to like try and test it out. So we're gonna take, how much are we gonna take? Okay, this is a lotiony consistency. I'm trying to not take too much. I have this much on my hand. It's not really 2 fingers, but we're gonna see how it blends. Okay, it's very lotiony. It's like literally I'm putting on a moisturizer. And this thing is blending again, just like a moisturizer, right into the skin. Wow, that is freaking amazing. But I might have to take a little bit more. For some reason I feel like I haven't taken enough because it's so thin like a moisturizer, and then it's also like a lesser SPF, so yeah, I feel like I want to apply like a second layer. Also, I just want to mention this is like the least like this is the most inexpensive sunscreen that I feel like is available in the market, and it makes me kind of like question whether this actually has all the SPF filters. Let me tell you what this has. It's got micronized zinc oxide, avobenzone, and sulisibenzone something. Sulisobenzone. I've literally never heard that word before. But yeah, I was saying this is like the most inexpensive sunscreen ever because this tube is like super small. It's just 40 grams, but I paid just 200 bucks for this. And I know that they have like this huge 150 ml bottle, I think, which is like hardly 600 bucks. And that, you guys, is so much sunscreen, like 150 grams or like 150 ml. I have never heard any brand come out with that much sunscreen apart from like, Supergoop, which has like the face and body sunscreen in like a huge size. But yeah, I've never heard of any brand come out with like more than 100 grams or 100 ml, and that too is like a little bit more expensive when they do that. So for Fix Derma to come out with a huge 150 ml size bottle just for like 500-600 bucks is so inexpensive, and you can apply a lot of it and not feel like you're spending way too much money. So I'm taking this much again and applying a second layer. Okay, now when you apply a second layer, it's a little harder to get this absorbed, but I guess if I wait for a while, it will definitely get absorbed into the skin. And I'm shocked at how this literally, the consistency of this is just like a moisturizer. I mean, wow, that is amazing. So I applied 2 layers of this on my skin, and it is not too much. It is blending pretty well into my skin. And it's great, I have nothing bad to say about this. So yeah, this one definitely gets a thumbs up from my side, and I can't wait to like continue wearing this and sharing my thoughts with you guys. Hey you guys, welcome to a new day, and today we're going to be trying out a new sunscreen, obviously. And this is the sunscreen right here. This is the Chemist Play Clear Shield Invisible Daily Sunscreen SPF 30. So it's not your like highest SPF. Okay, I am dropping a lot of things today, including the sunscreen itself, but this is what the packaging actually looks like. So I was saying this is basically your super glue unseen sunscreen. If you've ever tried it, I have, and it was not my favorite, but it wasn't like the worst sunscreen either. So we're gonna try out this one and see how it compares. I'm gonna try to take like 2 finger length both of it, but this product is just like squirting out of the packaging. You won't be able to see because again it's a clear sunscreen, but if you can see, I have approximately 2 finger lengths of this, and I'm just gonna apply this. Okay, it's basically the same. Now that I'm applying it on, I can tell you it's the same. It's this silicone gel primer basically, which I know a lot of people love. So if you love something like this, you're gonna love this. Also, if you have like a darker skin tone, and even sunscreens that say they're not supposed to give you a white cast, this basically won't, because it's clear. Okay, so that is that. And it has gotten absorbed as well into the skin, which I do like. So yeah, I like that it gives you this like matte look, kinda. At least that's what it looks like on camera. I have to see it in person as well, and of course I'm going to continue trying and testing this out. Just wanting to quickly find out if this is a chemical sunscreen or a physical sunscreen. It's a chemical sunscreen because I don't see any physical filters on yours. So it is a chemical sunscreen. And yeah, that's about it. So far this looks pretty good, I have to say. The only thing is that this is not my favorite type of sunscreen, like the silicone primer ones. But that's again like a personal bias. And I will say though that with sunscreens like these, you might face spilling sometimes. Thankfully it did not happen with this one, but I made sure that it doesn't happen because I kind of did my serum moisturizer a while back. I got completely dressed and now I'm putting on the sunscreen, which I typically don't do. I typically like to put on sunscreen immediately after I put on moisturizer, like not immediately after, but like 2-3 minutes in, like, you know, once the moisturizer and stuff dries. I like to put it on immediately and then, you know, get dressed up. But today I did it the other way around. A, because we were filming, but B, also because I didn't want the sunscreen to pill. So we're gonna try and see this not having too much of a gap and see if that works, or maybe it won't. I don't know. We will see, but I will keep you guys updated. But so far I am liking this sunscreen, I have to tell you that. So yeah, I'm gonna go now. Hey you guys, and welcome to another day. Today we don't have a new sunscreen, but we're going to be trying and testing out the new sunscreen combination. So in one of my recent videos I was reviewing and like trying and testing out, which I obviously have done, this particular sunscreen right here from Earth Rhythm. This is the micro encapsulated technology hybrid sun fluid ultra defense SPF 30, and I've reviewed and shared how greasy of this sunscreen can how greasy of a sunscreen this particular sunscreen can be. I don't have any coffee in my system, and I've obviously just woken up and gotten ready, so I'm having some issues talking. But today we're gonna be like trying, I don't know, this idea just randomly came to my mind that, you know what, let's try like mixing sunscreens. I know you shouldn't technically do that, but I'm not gonna be like physically mixing the two sunscreens in my hand. By the way, I just ended up showing you the other sunscreen which we're gonna be using today as well. This is the Derma 1% hyaluronic sunscreen aqua gel. Both of these have a very similar consistency. Now I wouldn't typically mix something like the Chemist clear shield along with a sunscreen like this, and I'll show you why. This is like a more silicone primer gel consistency, whereas I will show you the consistency of these two. So the Earth Rhythm Ultra Defense SPF 60, I'm going to take 1 finger length of this, and you can see right here, this is like a light lotion white cream basically, and the Derma is also similar, but this one is not greasy at all. I don't know what they put in here and how they formulate it, but it's a beautiful product that I absolutely love. By the way, they have changed the pump. If you can see, the pump was different earlier. I got a new one, and this is like brand new, so the pump is going to take a while to like get going. Okay, now that I compare the two side by side, you won't be able to tell on camera, but the Derma has a slight yellow tinge as compared to the Earth Rhythm, which is like stark white. But anyway, it's like the lightest bit of yellow. It's just that when you're comparing the two, you can tell. Otherwise, you can't even tell. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna dot this in a way where we get the benefit of both the sunscreens together. Okay, apologies for that abrupt interruption. I put too much here, so I'm just gonna spread a little bit. And you can see I took like half on one half of my face. Now we're gonna do the other half on the other half. And both the sunscreens, I want to mention, do a very good job of like blending in so well. They don't leave any sort of a white cast or anything like that. The Derma has a beautiful finish where I love it on its own. It's the perfect like skin like natural finish. It's not too dewy, it's not too matte. The past few days I have been using the Chemist clear shield, which I just showed you, and I feel like my skin has gotten a little drier because of that. So that's why today I wanted to use something that's a little bit more hydrating and like moisturizing, so my skin doesn't feel as dry. You can still see, by the way, that my face has this like glow going on, which I hope is going to settle in some time. But yeah, the sunscreen has blended completely. So I'm gonna go now, get ready for the day, and try to see and give you updates throughout the day. Whenever I have used the Ultra Defense Sunscreen by Earth Rhythm. It's always left a super greasy finish on my face, but I always used it on its own. Today I obviously used lesser product, and I used another sunscreen as well to get adequate protection. So yeah, hoping that today my skin is not as dewy throughout the day, and this shine that you see will eventually settle, hopefully. Let's see. Another day, another new sunscreen. Today we have the Conscious Chemist Sun Drink. This is their hybrid gel non-greasy sunscreen SPF 50 PA 4+. This looks really interesting. I've been waiting to try it out because when I swatched it first, by the way, I'm taking 2-finger lengths. Yeah, so like I was saying, when I swatched it earlier, just a little bit on the back of my hand, I saw the texture, I saw the color, and it reminded me of my favorite Derma sunscreen. I want to show you what it looks like. I think it's not going to pick up on camera, but if you own this and you have also tried out the Derma, let me know how similar you think they are. I do find them to be quite similar, at least based off first impressions, but today I'm going to actually use this all over my face and then decide if I actually think it's similar to the Derma or not. So yeah, you know what, I think this whole clip is just gonna be me telling you that this is just like the Derma sunscreen, because it blends very similarly. It also has a similar scent to it, I feel like. I mean, keep in mind both of them don't have an actual smell, but you know, the natural fragrance of the ingredients and stuff that comes out, they both are pretty similar. I wouldn't be shocked if the actual ingredients are similar too. And you guys, it blends also very similarly. No white cast. It has this slight glow, but it's not a dewy sunscreen at all. It leaves a pretty like skin finish, natural finish on the skin. Yeah, I don't want to just keep saying that this product is just like Derma, it's just like Derma, it's just like Derma, but I'm saying all these things because I want to give you reference, because I feel like there is only so much that you're able to understand on camera when you're seeing a product or when you're seeing someone review something. So the Derma one is a sunscreen that, you know, everyone has used at this point. I feel like most people have, and it's a good reference point. You know, if I have to compare another sunscreen, it's a good reference point, and it'll help you decide, you know, kind of if you think one is better than the other, or if both of them are the same, then you know what's the point of having two sunscreens that are basically the same. So yeah, that is that. Actually, you know what, I should quickly grab the Derma sunscreen and compare the ingredients. This one has water, titanium dioxide, zinc oxide, so it's a physical sunscreen that is pretty great because absolutely no white cast. And then a bunch of other ingredients that I can't compare the names of. I mean, I can't pronounce the names, not compare the names. I can see olive squalene, I can see resveratrol. These are just things that I can pronounce that I'm telling you. There is caprylic acid, not triglyceride, I was going to say that. It's got yeah, it's got a lot of ingredients, and I'm going to quickly grab the Derma one and compare the two. Okay, you guys, I discovered two interesting things that I want to share with you. I have the Derma sunscreen also right here. I did look at the ingredients, and both of them do have zinc oxide and titanium dioxide, so that is fine. The other ingredients, the supporting ingredients, are different in both. Like this one has, the Derma one has aloe leaf juice, it's got E-ascorbic acid, it's got allantoin, it's also got phenoxyethanol, which I know a lot of people don't like. It's got hyaluronic acid. It's also got caprylic acid, which is similar, but a lot of the other ingredients that have got bigger names that I can't pronounce are different on the two. I can tell you that. But something that I actually discovered, I was looking for the manufacturer because I've noticed this, I think, with the Recoil and the UV Docs, that both of them are kind of manufactured in the same laboratory. So I try to check like who the manufacturers are. So the manufacturer for the Derma is Anna Pure Biocos, and the factory is basically in Chandigarh. I think that's where this is manufactured. And for the Conscious Chemist one, the name of the manufacturer is actually not mentioned, but the manufacturing license number is mentioned, and the license number for the Conscious Chemist and the license number for the Derma is the same. Now I don't know anything about I don't have technical knowledge or know-how about how these products are manufactured and like what are the I'm sorry, what are the how do you say, I don't know a lot of the logistics and like the things behind the, what is the term, I just don't have the technical know-how basically in this particular department. So that's why I don't want to speculate anything or say that both these are manufactured in the same laboratory, so that's why they're so similar. But again, looking at myself in my phone screen, I can tell you this applies very very similar and has a very similar finish to the Derma one, which is why I wanted to let you guys know that. But also let me know if you want me to do like a side-by-side comparison where I take, like I do half my face with the Conscious Chemist, half my face with the Derma and show you that. If you're interested in that, let me know. But yeah, now I think I'm just gonna like keep blabbering on, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go and yeah, let me know what your thoughts. I'm obviously gonna monitor the way the sunscreen wears throughout the day and then give you guys an update. So yeah, it's a new day and I have a new sunscreen right here to show you and share with you and basically do a first impressions. This is from the brand Sunscoop. This brand has been getting pretty popular online right now. It's an Indian brand which is kind of like a sister brand to Bare Anatomy, to Chemist at Play, and then Sunscoop is the third brand that they have. And this is the invisible sunscreen SPF 40. It's supposed to be like an Indian dupe version of the Supergoop Unseen sunscreen, which I had tried out. Okay, there was like a booklet in here which I literally dropped right out, but this is what the tube looks like, and I'm very excited to try it out. So I'm gonna take like 2 finger lengths. Okay, first impressions just by putting it on my hand. This is a little more liquidy. I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to see it or not because it's basically a clear sunscreen, but this is a little bit more of a liquidier consistency, whereas the Supergoop Unseen sunscreen is a little bit more of like a gel consistency. It's also got that, like, I want to say primer like feeling, but I feel like this is not as much primer, like this is more like a lightweight watery gel lotion. Actually not lotion, but like thin lightweight gel, whereas like the Conscious Chemist Clear Shield, the blue one, is more so like a primer. So yeah, that being said, I definitely do have it in mind that I want to do like a comparison of the Conscious Chemist Clear Shield as well as the Sunscoop Invisible Sunscreen. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Finish wise, I would say it's pretty skin like. It's obviously not going to leave any sort of cast on your skin because you know, it's a clear sunscreen. It's a complete like clear gel. I'm pretty sure it's a chemical sunscreen. It could not possibly have any physical filters. Yeah, I don't see any physical filters in here, so it is a chemical sunscreen. Yeah, so far so good. I think if you are someone who has a deeper complexion where sunscreens that have like, you know, which are basically white in color that could potentially leave a cast on you, I think you would really like this. I have to say I was expecting this to be very similar to the Conscious Chemist Clear Shield, but I feel like it's definitely different. That one is more gel like and more primer like, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Like at one point of time in my skincare journey, I used to actually like those kind of sunscreens, but now I'm more so like, you know what, I just want something that is more of like skincare, and then I'm gonna have my makeup do what I want makeup to do. I don't want my skincare to look like makeup and then have to like alter my makeup routine accordingly, if that makes any sense. So yeah, so far so good. I actually really like this. I'm gonna obviously test it out throughout the day, and I'm gonna either come back later today or maybe like tomorrow or day after and give you my detailed thoughts on every single sunscreen. So yeah, stay tuned for that, but I'm gonna go now. Okay, it's time to conclude the video, and basically just to conclude, I'm going to give you my summarized thoughts on all these sunscreens. It's a couple of days later and I have used each of these a different amount. Basically, some of them I've used a little bit more, some I haven't used as much, but I still have my thoughts figured out after like at least one full day wear test. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I don't have the Fix Derma one that you saw right in the beginning because that clip was actually filmed I think maybe 3.5 months ago. I don't even remember. Because I had the small size, I completely used it up and I will be repurchasing it. I mentioned that in an empties video also, that you will either see before this video or after this video. I don't really know the order, but yeah, that one is not going to be mentioned in today's video. I want to talk to you about my go-to sunscreen combo as well, which you did see featured in this video, and that is the combination of these two combined. I currently have these two sunscreens under my skin, and I've been using them consistently for I think maybe like 2 or 3 weeks at this point. So yeah, what I do is exactly what I showed you in the video. I take 1 finger length of this, I take 1 finger length of this, I dot it on my face, and then I just blend it all in and use it, and it's been great. Even though this is a super dewy sunscreen, but when I use these two combined, it actually looks manageable enough. I really like it. It's not too mattifying, it's not too dewy, it's somewhere in between. And I also of course love the sunscreen on its own too. That being said, something that is very similar to the Derma Co hyaluronic acid sunscreen is the Conscious Chemist Sun Drink. Again, I used it in the video. I told you basically throughout that whole clip that these two are very, very similar to each other. In fact, this, like I again shared in the first impressions, I think is a little bit more dewy than this one is. This one is a little bit more matte looking. It's not matte feeling, it's matte looking. So it also depends on, you know, are you wearing makeup? Are you not wearing makeup? Are you going out and are you sweating or are you not sweating? Like all these factors I think are very, very important. So that is basically the difference between these two. I'm also going to do a dedicated this or that video comparing the two, but these are just my summarized thoughts on using them side by side and telling you how they kind of fare and look and stuff. And I think on its own also this is a really, really, really nice sunscreen. I would highly suggest this to anyone who either cannot get their hands on Derma for some reason, like if it's out of stock or something like that, or if you just want to support Conscious Chemist as a brand, because Derma is obviously like a bigger brand, I want to say. So if you want to support a smaller brand, go ahead with Conscious Chemist. And I know earlier they've had a lot of issues with inconsistencies and the serums like not working well, or even the face moisturizer fiasco I think that they had going on. But now I think I've been trying out other products also from Conscious Chemist, and I think that they're making an effort to do better. You can tell by the rebrand, the packaging, the different stuff that they have going on. So for that reason, I do feel like I want to support Conscious Chemist a little bit more than I used to want to do earlier. But anyways, that was that for the sun drink. We also have the Clear Shield sunscreen from Conscious Chemist, which, if I have to be honest, like if I have to put these two head to head and tell you which one I prefer more and which one I prefer less, I will still say that I prefer the sun drink a little bit more. Now, Clear Shield is basically your clear silicone sunscreen. If you've ever tried the Supergoop Unseen sunscreen, it's kind of similar to that, but this one I think is a primer like perfectly clear gel. Like the Supergoop Unseen still has like a yellowish tinge to it. This one is completely clear. It basically feels like you're putting a silicone primer on your face. That's exactly how this feels like. So for me personally, at some point in my life, I actually really like that. But at this particular stage where I am in life, I actually prefer something that is more like this as compared to this, which is why it's not my favorite. I also feel that sometimes it might not work well with your makeup, or it might not work well with the other skincare products that you have going on, like your serum, your moisturizer that you're putting on before sunscreen. So keeping all of those things in mind, this is not my absolute favorite out of this particular bunch, but I still think that it's a little bit better compared to another, similar type of sunscreen I'm going to show you, which is the Sunscoop Invisible SPF 40. Now this one I had really high expectations for, and I have to tell you, I just used it once, so I'm not going to completely base my opinion just on that one experience. I do plan to actually put these two also head to head. I haven't done that yet, but I do plan on doing that, and of course I will be doing a video soon about it. But I do think that these are a little bit different. They're not really super similar in the sense that this is more like a primer feel. This is a little bit more, I feel like, similar to the Unseen, where it's not as primer like, but it's more so like a thin lotion gel consistency. It feels a little bit more like it's got more water content for some reason, I want to say. Like, how you're feeling a moisturizer, like what the texture of that is like, it's more like that. But again, it's your clear sunscreen obviously. And one more thing that I have noticed with this is that I don't like this on its own with Clear Shield, because again, it's clear, and if you're someone who doesn't wear makeup, I would actually recommend this. But whereas with the Invisible sunscreen, I don't like the way my face looks when I have just this on and I don't put on makeup for the rest of the day. And if I do put on makeup, I feel like it doesn't look that good under makeup for some reason. Like, I feel like my makeup looks cakey on top when I'm using the sunscreen. That's what I've noticed just in the one time that I have used it, which I know is not a very good judgment. So for that reason, I just don't know how I would use this. I don't like how it looks without any makeup on. I don't like the way my makeup looks if I have this under. So I kind of have to figure out my thoughts on this. I'm not super happy with this as of now, and I had higher expectations for sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare these two side by side, give you a comparison review obviously, but also compare for myself that if I do decide to keep one of these, I would just like to keep one. I definitely do not want to keep both in my collection, and I might actually end up decluttering both as well. Maybe, just maybe. I'm just not sure yet. So I just wanted to share like a little bit of my opinions on all these sunscreens with you, and would also obviously like to know from you if you like this video, if you found it helpful, because you obviously got to see my sort of like formed opinions on these products, but you also got to see the first impressions and how they apply and all that stuff. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful, and I'm actually planning on doing a lot more videos like this. I just want to know your thoughts and opinions. Did you find this helpful or not? So please leave that down below in the comment section, because it would be super duper helpful. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I have already made this video way too long, more than it should have been, so I'm not gonna blabber any further. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and definitely leave your feedback down below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'm gonna see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Until next time, bye bye.